It's time for the Saturday night nightcap. Premier League action is on MLE Esports Game 2. It's the Tyrants and the Elite are again. This is the Premier League side for the top flight of the entire organization. Hello everyone, my name is Novanza, but I am not alone. To help me out with this, we have my broadcast colleague, Luke. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm really excited to get into the rest of this series. I cannot wait. I know both these lineups through and through, and this is a win or go home situation, which is probably one of the best things we hope for as the last series on MLE GG2 for the last game of the season, really.
Yeah, we saw the Elite have the reverse sweep in the Academy League action. I know, if I'm the Tyrants at the Premier League, I want some revenge. Tell me about the Tyrants team. Who do you have all your sights on to really make a difference in the game here today?
I mean, I'm super excited. I mean, again, while they may not be playing their offensive striker of Fuzz, who right now is dominating the leagues in goals of 70, they still have two amazing players. They have Els and Zach playing, who while they may not, be some of the most talked about players in Premier League, behind Test Gravity and all those names, they are definitely one of the most deadly players. As Els, he didn't even start on this team. He actually started off on the Lightning and transferred over to this team to replace, I can't remember his name, replace Laugh. And as a result, this duo has been dominating. They've been great. Els, number 10 in goals. Els, number 4 in saves. I mean, he's just been a great player. And it's going to be really exciting to see how him and Zach mesh as a duo.
Now, you said this has a win and go home mechanic here with both these teams. I got to ask you, put your name on the wall. Who do you got with taking this series when it's all said and done?
I was really sad because obviously we get to see the lineups before the rest of obviously the audience gets to, and I was really sad we didn't get to see Gumbachi play. But again, in MLE you have to play certain lineups for this, and I think Gumbachi played all his matches that he could, and they were forced to play this lineup of Distant and Pups. No hate against either of them, but it's going to be a lot more difficult of a challenge to make a big 3-2 win over a dominant duo of Zach and Els.
Yeah, I can't wait, and both teams are ready to go on the pitch, so let's make it happen. This is Premier League Uncapped MMR. These guys are the best of the best of the best. And I use the term guys loosely because men and women are both equally welcome here in minor league esports. As long as you can ball, you can be on the team, and you can make it happen here. It's the Tyrants against the Elite, and it's happening right now. I'm, for one, am excited. I can't call it. That's why I made you call it, because I can't do it myself. The Tyrants are looking for some revenge from the Academy League results, and it's happening right now.
And I mean, I just can't wait. I'm really excited to see, because this is a game we have very mechanical players, especially in Pops and Zach. So again, this is going to be very mechanical. You can see very creative plays to set each other up. There's one right there. Now he'll punch it away, but it's going to be very fun series to watch, to say the least.
Yeah, I had the pleasure, or I would say that the challenge of commentating, casting Els, because he's all over the place. But maybe that's to the advantage. The Elite get on the board first. 20 seconds into game one. Pops will live a pop of himself, cutting both defenders right, center, left of center. 1-0 the Elite.
What a great stuff from Pops. Realizes a little delayed challenge from the defender, and he just fits it right behind him as he kind of had all his momentum going for the shot towards the center of net. So back post is wide open. A great start for the Elite, who really will be the underdogs going into this series. So definitely a good start for them.
That's true. They're the underdogs in a lot of ways, even though it's only a couple games separate these two teams. And you can tell right now, because this here is a whole different kind of zone compared to the Academy League strategies of both these teams. A lot faster play. If this is your first time watching Premier League action here in MLE Esports, you are in for a treat. There's other organizations out there. We're talking RLCS. They have guys at this level or better, and these guys are here for you. And Saturday night right there on Twitch. Oh my goodness, and we're already leveled. Less than a minute in game one, and it's 1-1 Tyrants and the Elite.
Oh, and that's great realization from Els. He reads the bounce beautifully and puts it back post. Both defenders don't even have a chance to realize where the shot's going. And that just shows how good of Els is. His ability to read where the ball is going to go before it even happens is superb, and definitely going to be something to look forward to in the rest of this series.
I agreed. One of the drawbacks of Premier League is that there's more options or more stocktains in this league, but that's a very small gripe. Other than that, fantastic play to get levels so quickly, because you don't want to come down, you don't want to have a bit of a deficit so early in a game. But Distant on the wall, maybe he has some space to maneuver for a bit of a juggle, but he is demoed for Zach. off the wall, pass to Els. I didn't think he would get there in time, but he did. Super speed. Zach goes up, tips it, stops the ball from hitting on his side of the net. And we have Distant. Distant pass to Els. Could have been a costly clear, but Els had the wherewithal to go to the right of flank to get it out of harm's way. He is on fire now for the attack. A little bit, not enough on the left side. And it hits the side of the crossbar, pops around the horn, trying to do something center punch, but Distant, he's up, and there's a little bit too much juice on the side of the crossbar. Sometimes you kind of wish the net was 2 times as large and it doesn't go your way, but hey, all's fair in Love and Rocket League. Zach bringing it down, and it's cleared slightly, brushed by Distant. I am not sure what kind of clear that was. That's fine with me. Zach with the float over. There was no way that was going in at this level. Pops has a chance there, but a bit too much mustard on that, and it beats Distance for the goal. And this, unfortunate deflection, but it works out for the Tyrants.
That's a great set from Mel. These are the calls that you never see in lower leagues. You know, Zach calling out for the back pass in a great setup as he gets both defense out. And these are teams where if one team messes up, the other one's going to punish you immediately. So it's not going to be like Academy League where we saw a ton of double commits go unanswered. This is going to be if you see an issue on offense, a little bit pushing up too far, you're going to get punished, and we see it again there. Els takes a little too long, and as a result, Distant just says, thank you very much, I'll take it.
Man, there is punishment, and then there's an absolute grounding. I don't understand why that juggler was so wayward, but Distant made them pay. And just like that, the Elite are back in this one. They're level. Halftime in game 1, 2-2 apiece.
Very big start. And I mean, this game is going to be the foundation for the rest of the series. Again, win or go home. It's not a matter like, oh, we only need to win 2 games to secure our spot. You have to win this series, which is probably something we're not usually used to seeing in MLE. So it's super, super exciting to see how it will turn out.
Absolutely right. There's a pass to Zach, but Pops gets a hand on it, but it was not enough. How unfortunate, but the Tyrants are in the lead once again.
And I love these setup plays. Els finding Zach once again in the midfield after getting a demo. Instead of and this is the great realization. When you get a demo, most players just react saying, oh, I need to get out of here, or I just have to go for the ball. Instead, he relaxes, looks for his teammate, and says, hey, there you are. I'm going to look for you instead and rely on you being the scorer. And they succeed once again.
Yes, succeed is an understatement there because you had the defense at full stretch, and even there, Pops got there, it wasn't enough. It shows you your placement worked to your advantage there, and that is the difference in nuance at this level. A lot of leagues are lower leagues, or a lot of lower MMR players will try to do a straight shot down the middle, but the fact you have that cross pitch or that cross net shot to give yourself more of a chance of going in is a difference maker here. But they're probably looking to get some space between the Tyrants. They're already up by 1 goal with 1:45 to go. Can they make it 2? But Pops has something to say about that. The elite attack is stuffed by Zach. Els has been pitched, waiting for the pass from Zach. Off the top, a little bit of a touch across the wall. Here comes Zach, but it was cleared away. Distant has the ball on top of his hood. Maybe it might be deadly, but it was nicely cleared away by Els. Not another punish on top of the hood like we saw earlier in this game. 1 minute, 20 seconds to go in game 1. This is the Premier League. Uncapped MMR salaries. And Pops looking for their shot. A little wide of goal, but the follow through is there. We're level once again, Luke.
That's a great save. See, you don't notice this, but before any of this occurred, Zach actually boost-starved Els in the corner, and as a result, the ball just was stuck in the red half. And as a result, the Elite just kept putting shot after shot, and eventually, Zach ran out of the boost. He stole from Els, and the net was left wide open.
Pops has proven that he's cooler than my Pops. Fantastic way to keep the Elite in this one. A little over a minute to go here in game 1. The Tyrants trying to make a goal happen, maybe 2, and make sure they get the game 1. You know, make sure they avenge the series loss for the Academy League brethren. Just an hour ago here in good game 2. After this live stream, go back and check all the MLE action on this channel and on the main channel at MLE Esports GG. Els with the counter attack with Zach. He was there hopefully for another shot, but it was blocked by the Elite. You have Els around the horn, but he didn't get there in time. This could be costly here. This is around the side. Could be a goal set up, but it's cleared by sheer luck and will. But they're not out of the woods yet. Zach with the shot, a little bit to a setup there, and it's wow. That was clinical, Luke.
And this is a very big steal. You don't even notice the double boost steal by Zach when he sets this up, but Pops, who's back on defense, has nothing to do except watch as these boost start. Nothing to do. And again, this game is not just about like what's physically happening, it's the things that are happening around, and what makes Premier League so difficult to comprehend and so hard to watch, and I mean so much fun to watch, is that they have to be able to not only get the touches, but able to have the boost and be able to be in the place to be, and there the Tyrants punish.
20 seconds ago, 15 seconds ago by now, the Tyrants are up game one. It's a very similar story to their Academy League brethren, but it may look they have game one in hand. 5 seconds ago in game one, everyone's holding a collective breath. Will the Elite block it? No, they will not, and it will fall, and the Tyrants win game one.
And this is a big game one. It really felt like the Elite, they came out shooting. I didn't think this would be the game one I was expecting to see. I thought the Tyrants would be a little more dominant on the offensive side of the field, but as a result, the Elite, they had creative solo plays, really starving out the Tyrants on the boost side of the field. So again, they definitely have what it takes to pull this series out, and again, this one game will not decide the winner of the series.
Yeah, these scorelines are pretty similar. The Tyrants have one more goal than the Elite, and they also have one more shot on goal. But both teams played incredibly well, much very similar to we saw in the Academy League action earlier tonight. Now, if you're the Tyrants, you have to go again. So I got to ask you, Luke, what's the strategy this time? Because the Elite are so good. They're so good at being at both sides of the pitch when need be. Almost like a third man is somehow manifested the way they've been able to spread their attack out. If you're the Tyrants, what's your strategy to win game two?
I mean, if you're the Tyrants, this is not going to be as easy a match. I think they realized on defense. I think they were expecting to have more pressure than they did. And I think the Elite, they punished them, especially on dribbles, a lot more. So I think they got to be a little bit safer on defense. Make sure they don't give, the Elite these touches, especially with boost management. We saw a little bit of starving between teammates as Els and Zach are a little boost-heavy players, so it definitely could happen. So again, definitely want to make sure they're cautious on that. But I think that right now, the momentum's on their side. They have the mental game, so it's going to be very exciting to see how it goes.
Game two is starting right now. Let me ask you a question, Luke. For someone who may be stumbling across the stream, maybe watching Rocket League or MLE for the first time, why or how is Bruce starving so important at this level?
Because, again, a lot of players, when you're playing at a higher level, the wall in the backcourt becomes such a big place of it. Like you see even here on the kickoff, the wall is just one of the biggest places where the game takes place. Where when we were watching Academy, we rarely saw players on the wall at all. So you need that boost in order to control that part of the field. Because again, it's not just the ground, it's the walls and the ceiling. And if you control all four, then you're winning the game. So again, having boost is allowing you to control more of the ball and the field. So again, this might be a way here. The double tap opportunity, Pops makes it home. Early lead for him once again.
Oh, Pops. Distant with the pass. Pops with double tap, and it is clean as a whistle. The Elite are up 1-0. 30 seconds elapsed, 28 seconds elapsed in game one, and they're already on the board.
It's a big start for them again. Now it's going to come down if they can hold it, because they lost the lead almost immediately last game. So it's going to be very important to see if they can hold down the fort and prevent an equalizer.
Yeah, equalizer is the name of the game here. The Tyrants are trying to go for one, but it's clear that it's in a fantastic and emphatic faction. But here is the rebound. It's still hanging around goal. The entire ball has to cross that line for that goal to count, or else the Tyrants would have been level. 4 minutes to go here in game two. The Tyrants are up one game in its 5-game set. Much like our Academy League game, we're playing all 5 games regardless of who wins the series because every game counts here in MLE. Pops with the ball in hand, floating over his defense. Can he come cross in time to make the goal happen? It's a setup. A bit too far. Distant was not quite there in position, but I like the fact that Pops stayed with it. That shows he has the wherewithal to make these goals happen under better circumstances. Pops, another opportunity is stopped by Els. Els has an opportunity out, but he was turned around with that block, and Distance is off to the races. Here's a chance to shoot over, but it's blocked by Zach. Zach is trying to do more of the defensive work here. A bit of a double commit here, but I'm going to say fair play. A lot better defensive move than I could have done at the foundation level, right? You have a Pops here with a bit of his airplay pass to Distant, and it is cleared by Els. Let's talk about Els for a second. He's been able to be a bit of a defensive warden when need be, and also the point man on attack for this team.
And Els is definitely one of those all-around type players. You don't have to rely on him on being all the defense or all the offense. He's able to be both sides of it. And actually, he has a little extra category that I didn't even get to bring up is his demo ability. He's second in the league in demo, so he's definitely a good interrupter as well. So again, definitely if you're wondering why the Elite are really kind of being a little panicky on getting rid of the ball, is because they're worried about Els demoing possibility. So again, this is a great start for the Elite, but any type of demo or plays like this could really backfire and kind of cause an equalizer.
Oh, there it is. Another score by the Elite. I was about to say, look, when you're up by one in these kind of games, it's actually more stressful than being down by one. But the Elite have an assurance goal on the board.
That may be true, but again, even though you're up by 1, being up by 2 is even more scary because I feel like when you're in a league like this where kickoff goals are much more common, it's a lot easier to come back from a 2-goal deficit when you have the mechanical genius like the Tyrants do.
Mechanical Genius sounds like my rock band, but the Elite are up 2-0, but about halftime, I guess, here in Game 2. The Tyrants are up 1 game in the series. The Elite are probably looking to dig deep, trying to find a way to have another goal to make this game out of doubt. To Luke's point, you're right. 2 minutes is an eternity in Rocket League, especially the Premier League. But now we have the Tyrants here bunched up in the corner. Maybe that'd be a strategy here with a little bit of a sneaky goal, but it is found out and stopped by the Elite. Zach has to retreat. You have Els there, maybe trying to do an attack, but he got stops with a little float over from Zach, but again, stopped by Pops. Pops has been absolutely unplayable for the Elite. He's like their answer to Els. Els with the ball now. Einik crawling on the wall like Spider-Man, seeing Zach mid-pitch, but Pops gets there instead. How is Pops all over the pitch at once, Luke?
I mean, he's just been really outpaced. I think his boost management has been good too. He's not only starting out the defense, he's kind of using the boost start as a way of keeping the pressure in the red half. And even though the Tyrants are leading in shots right now, the Elite have just done more with their shots, and they've had much better defensive plays, especially going back to the beginning of this game when there was an early flip reset from Els that was stopped by Pops. And it's just showing how right now they are just being the more dominant team on both sides of the field.
Whew, that shot was almost a curveball into the goal. About a minute to go here in Game 2. Tyrants are up in the series, but the Elite are admittedly the stronger team here, playing very well, up 2-0. Here's a chance to put one more goal on the board for the Elite to get out of doubt, but Zach has something to say with it. Stops that clear, and it was there for Els in the platter, but a defenseman got there first. Now you have Zach playing the double defense. I love the fact that they're able to switch off from Els to Zach to put Zach on the front pitch. Pops intercepts it, grabs the right side of the wall, trying to use the wall corner to advantage and backs off. Probably realized it was a losing endeavor. 30 seconds on the clock. Pops with another shot, heading towards the mid-pitch, trying to set up distant, but it didn't go far enough. Els trying to be a little bit inconsistent in his goal shot. That could have been shot on goal for Pops, but apparently he missed. Els has an opportunity here. It is 2-1. Now Pops has to respond, and now we're at back level. Almost a bit of a 3-second power play, almost like hockey when you're demoed like that. And you know what? That could have been a goal, but it wasn't there because the Elite is that strong, and that shot is uncontested. 3-0 the Elite.
And you gotta give it to them. They have earned this win. 12 saves to their names. This is an unmatched stat. I mean, Zach, unfortunate backflip to him, but I think it's just getting in his head saying, man, we have had so much presence on offense, but it's not doing anything because the Elite have stopped every single shot that's come their way, and they've deserved this Game 2 win.
Yeah, you saw that block, and Zach was flipped on his back. He had no chance at all. It looks like the Elite are taking away Game 2. So this is a different story than our Academy League brethren. We have a split series going into Game 3.
And I think this is definitely something that I didn't expect. I really did not see Distant and Pops coming out with this type of threat on offense. I really didn't. I knew they were going to be good on defense, but I didn't think they were going to be able to turn it into offense. Even though they had 12 saves, they still had a good presence on offense. 11 shots is nothing to just ignore, and as a result, they're going into Game 3 with all the momentum, and the Tyrants are just aggravated at this point that none of their amazing shot opportunities went in.
Yeah, the Elite supporters are showing up for Pops right now. He has been the answer to Els, it seems, in Game 2. I gotta say that from what I said, it looks like the Elite are stronger heading into Game 3, but stranger things have happened. Now, you're the Tyrants, you won Game 1, things didn't work out for you for Game 2. Do you stick with the plan you're doing right now, or do you make some adjustments?
Honestly, I would just stick with it because, again, are you going to rely on the Elite getting 12 saves every game? Sometimes that's just a very hard thing to keep. A really good thing to keep consistent is your defensive performance, even offense. So are we going to see the Elite prevent these many shots? Again, Els had a beautiful flip reset that I was not expecting Pops to get the save on, but he miraculously made two. But It's those type of things that if the Elite can repeat it, then yeah, the Tyrants have to switch it up. But right now, the Tyrants still let in shots last game, so they still have the momentum of pressure. They just got to hope that the Elite are not able to get there to save it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome the fact that these two teams have found ways to look at each other's game plans and change on the fly, and that happens a lot more often at the Premier League level because it is a matter of millimeters, a matter of inches, a matter of fractions of inches when it comes to the good teams, the great teams, and, pardon the pun, the elite teams. Right now, we have 4 minutes and 35 seconds to go here in Game 3. Distance is off to the races. Will he get there in time? He doesn't. That could have been the first goal for the Elite here. Pops trying to shadow. Els is on the counterattack. Pops misses, but it is not enough. There's a shot to the left side from Els. A rare miss, so close to goal. And Distance clears away. Both members of the Elite on the right side. You have Distance waiting there at the sneaky position, as I like to call it. Pops looking to poke it, and he totally misses that one. It's okay though. Distance is shadowing, blocks that counterattack, but Zach has no answer for him. And now we have a shot, possibly on goal, a little bit left of that. Els stops the float around on the ball. Pops is there as to start the counterattack for the Elite. Now, the Elite are looking to score here, but the Tyrants have been absolutely annoying, and they get a goal for their efforts, Luke.
And again, they actually did switch up their play style compared to last game. Last game, they were just playing shot after shot follow-ups, but this time, they're relying more on getting the Elite out of net. They're wanting to pull them away from net so both players cannot have an opportunity to save, and it works there. They pull Pops away where he's awkward in the midfield, and Distant just not really in the place to be to get that follow-up shot from Zach, and that's what you need to be if you're the Tyrants. Don't let both players of the Elite be there, but as I say, that almost a beautiful shot, and the Elite trying to tie it up.
Ooh, try to. They do.
I tried to. I tried to. They end up doing it as a great shot from Distant.
Yeah, Distance with the double tap. To talk about the follow-through, so many lesser players, even at this league, would have probably gave that up and tried to rotate back, but sticking with it, got the goal, and they're level once again.
And I'm really excited to see how the mental side of this game goes, because again, no one knows Els a lot. Again, I've played with him before. He's one of those players who, if he gets down in a series, especially after how that game 2 went, he can get really in his own head, get a little risky on challenges, and almost one of those early goals that ended up getting pulled wide was a bad demo attempt by Els. So again, those type of things could really hurt you, and luckily, they are having the offensive presence, and if Zach can keep this up, he can keep Els calm, and they can pull out this game.
So let me ask you a question here at the Premier League where I said it's such a game of precision, a game of inches. Is it easier or more challenging to fight off the mental boogeyman, that shades of doubt when a shot doesn't go your way if you're down a game in a series?
I honestly think it's hard because I think a lot of people, you know, when you put this much time into the game and a lot of skill, you have a lot more of expectations for yourself. When you're in academy, you're not expected to hit everything. You know, you're like, oh, if there's a double tap opportunity, it's not going to happen a lot of the times. If it happens, then great. But when you're a Premier League player, expectations are you have to be the best player. You know, you cannot make simple mistakes. And again, it happens to everyone. Everyone can make mistakes. You can't be perfect. Even professionals in the RLCS do that. So I definitely think it's more of a problem in the higher leagues than it would be in the lower ones. And it can really make or break you when it comes to clutch situations. This series could be a test for both of these teams.
A test indeed, because now we are at an absolute deadlock here in Game 3, but not anymore. A caster's curse, I guess. Why not? The Elite are on the board. The second shot. Nice shot there from Pops. And they're up once again.
Why is it every time we say something that one team scores like related to like the score line? It happens every single time. But again, it's a great shot from Pops. And he's been a lot more dominant on offense than I thought he would be. And he's really been the star to really bring him back.
Yeah, I gotta say this lineup for the Elite, like to your point, is kind of unassuming, and I mean that relatively speaking, especially at this level, but Pops have shown out that, hey, if you're the Tyrants, if you have any chance of winning this game, you gotta shut down Pops, and so far he's been a bit of an annoyance for that team. But the Tyrants have a chance. They're only one goal down, a little less than 2 minutes ago in this Game 3 split series. It's pretty much anyone's game, anyone's series. It all comes down to which team has the focus here. Els seeing the ball, maybe has a chance to start a counterattack, lays off of it. Smart move there to put himself back on defense. You got Zach. Zach is going to try to do some dribble action. Trust fakes the first defender, passes, doesn't get stopped by the second defender. Els is back here to perhaps stop an attack from the Elite here for the Tyrants. The Tyrants can't allow any more goals if they want a shot of tying this game up. But here's a shot on goal. It's swatted away by Els with authority. This is upset. Maybe he owed him money or something. Els goes up. Pops goes up. We got a bit of a stalemate in the sky. And Distance has one for good measure. Distance all alone. Past the Pops. Els has to get back in time. Does he do it? And he puts his body out there, stopping the shot on goal. You got the Tyrants on the attack now. Els center pitch. A little bit of a miscommunication there. Bump. Will it be enough? And that ball went a little bit too high. It makes you wonder what if that collision didn't happen mid-pitch.
And even then, that was a big demo by Distant. I mean, if he didn't get that demo, that probably would have been a goal, and Els would have been right for the flop, even though there was that little bit of miscommunication. But as a result, they have a very big play. That's an unfortunate pinch from Zach. as the Tyrants really struggling to get something going here on the offense.
A very costly double clear. They didn't clear all the way. That could have been a scoring goal, but thankfully, perhaps the Tyrants are there breathing a sigh of relief. 25 seconds ago, Tyrants are still down. They have to make something happen if they want to tie the game to force an overtime, or maybe win the game. It seems to be a slim option at this point. Distant, playing a little bit of small ball, parking the bus, it seems. Just going is taking his time there. 10 seconds ago in game 3. It's now time for the Elite to hold the ball down and spike it down. It's now time for the Tyrants to get a shot on goal. Who's going to win this one first? 3 seconds left on the clock. 2-1 the Elite, and it possibly looks like the Elite will take game 3.
And they do it in a great fashion. You got to give it to this Elite lineup. They have done exactly what they've needed to do in order to stop this Tyrants team. This Tyrants team is a very boost-heavy team. They need boosts to go for fancy plays. And you wonder why. Hey, why isn't Els or Zach playing on the wall as much? It's because Pops has done a great job of starving them and keep them in their own half. And as a result, that's why they're having these very unfortunate double commits or like bumping each other on defense. It's like, oh, I have boost, they're saying in comms. Like, I have boost, I can take it kind of thing. That's a big thing that's really holding them back, and the Elite are taking great advantage of. And right now, they're 1 game away from qualifying for playoffs.
So I got to ask, the Tyrants have lost this game, but they won 1 game in the series there. What's the path for victory for them? To me, it looks like the Elite have this in the bag, but if you're the Tyrants, what would you say, what would you recommend they do to have a chance of winning this series?
They just got to figure out how to stop Pops on boost starving. I think right now their boost management is right up in their biggest issue, because I think Els has really wanted to pick up the demo game. We saw a couple attempts this game, but since he's so starved, he doesn't have the opportunities to go for him. And on the other side of the pitch, the Elite are picking them up. Distant got a few great demos to prevent goals and kind of score at the same time. So definitely the Tyrants need to figure out the boost control. And if they can figure that out, I definitely think they can run away with game number 4.
Yeah, this is a 5-game series. We're going to play all 5 games here in minor league esports. The Elite have 2 games to their name already. They are at series point. The Tyrants have a game also in the bag, but they're trying to win this series as well for playoffs implications, especially in Premier League, where you want to make sure if you want to show people that you're the best at what you do, you want to be a champion in this league. The Tyrants with a little bit more aggressive attack on the left side, setting up Els, but that ball is way too wide, and the Elite have some room here. Pops going up, and Els stops the attack. If Els did not get there in time, that could have been a goal right there. Zach drops it down right at corner. A little bit of top around that corner. Didn't go all the way they wanted to. Distance with a double block. Distance has a shot on, probably a shot on goal here, but Zach gets there in time. Again, Zach has picked up the pace to the Tyrants' credit. And I love the fact they're going toe-to-toe with the Elite. Even though it seems like the Elite are the stronger team, the Tyrants are not making it easy.
And that's to say the least. I mean, that's a great shot opportunity there from Pops off the mark. But again, as you say, the Tyrants have not made it easy. I think their defensive presence has been much better, but they're getting stuck in their own half. And I will say the Elite have done a great job at forcing challenges that make the Tyrants not just waste boosts, but make them panic touches. And again, we see it here as they'll try to get another goal.
Yeah, the name of the game is breaking that deadlock. You can't win games with ties, but the more importantly, you want to make sure momentum is working on your side. And Zach probably stopped the first goal for the Elite there. Zach has a path to go here, but Tyrant is there. A pass with a clear there, excuse me. Now you have Els on top, stopped by Pops. A little bit of an awkward deflection there. It's all good. You have Zach there, misses it full on clear. Els is on the back foot. This could be costly here, but he gets his car up there. A little bit of a scrappy fight, dog fight in the mid-pitch. That was a bit of a desperation move, because if he wasn't there, that would have been the first goal for the Elite. The Elite are still trying to break that deadlock with a shot across the bow, and it's too high. Pops way too back, looking for the counter, overshoots it. Really odd mistake there, and Zach gets a goal for the Tyrants.
And what a fake by Zach. He really looks like he's going to go for a flip here and drops it right behind the defender of Pops and just says, hey, I ain't going out of this series lightly, and we're going to keep it fighting. And that's the goal you need for the Tyrants. They've been struggling to score and get shots on net, especially Zach. He's had a ton of off the crossbar shots. So if that's a momentum booster, that is really what he needed.
Yeah, goals have the power to make you feel good, but definitely when you beat a defender quite like that. Tyrants are up 2 minutes and 35 seconds ago, about halftime here. If we had a halftime show, I would definitely watch it. But the Tyrants are looking for the second goal. Will they get there in time? Oh, they almost does! Mr. Monsoon let it up. The Tyrants are up 2-0.
That's a great play from Els. looks like Pops gets a little too trustworthy of disengaging the challenge here, but Els carries it just enough past that Pops just cannot do anything but watch. And now you're up 2-0. Still a ton of time left. 2 goals in Premier League is nothing lightly to come back from. So it's definitely going to be easy, but 3 might make it a little more difficult as Zach extends.
Somebody woke up the Tyrants. Maybe they froze them out of a Cretaceous period. If you got a 3-goal game, 2 minutes, 20 seconds ago, a little bit of a touch there on the sky from Zach. Not the cleanest shot, but you know what? It was effective. 3-0.
And again, that's what I'm saying. The boost management was better. Since they were all able to have boost there, they were able to get a perfect aerial opportunity, and that's the example there. If they can score early, they can allow the Elite not to hurt them on the boost starve. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they can hold on here since they have all the momentum.
Game 4 in this 5-game set. The Elite have 2 games. The Tyrants have 1 game. The Elite are on game point. You couldn't tell by this one. The Tyrants are up 3-0, 2 minutes to go in this Premier League matchup. And by Premier League, if this is your first time stumbling across minor league esports, do yourself a favor, head up MLEsports.gg to apply to be a player or caster. But Premier League actually means uncapped MMR. That means these are the best of the best of the best. And you too can be a part of this if you got the goods. And the Tyrants have the goods right now. They're up 3-0 and clearing that shot off the line. Pops, a little bit of frustration setting in for the Elite. Everything's were going their way just a game ago. It looked like it's going to be the Elite Series to win, and they still can be actually, but the Tyrants are in the dominating fashion. 90 seconds ago, it's game 4 of this Premier League matchup. Both Zach on the line, shanked by Pops, and we have Els pretty much, it's blocked by Els there. You got Zach probably on the counter, didn't get enough time to do the float over shot on goal. And we're having ourselves a little bit of a scrap between both teams. It's denying left and right.
And what makes this better for the Tyrants is that they're able to control the pace. Since they're up, they're controlling how the pace is. And it goes back to what we said, last game number 2 when the Elite won just based off of their defensive presence with 12 saves. I was saying, are they going to be able to hold it up if the, Tyrants are getting these really good shots like they did this game? And finally it collapses, and in this game was really what I expected to see from game number 2 with all the shots that were coming forth. And now the Elite just collapsing once again.
Yeah, the Elite looks like they're still accurate with their shots, but they're doing it more defensively than offensively, and that's been the difference. And that shot on goal shouldn't have happened if the Elite, but it was. Good thing that Claire got there just in time. 25 seconds ago here in this game 4. Els looking for 4th goal on the board, and he makes it. Mr. Monsoon, how you doing, homie? Tyrants are up 4-0.
And it looks like Distance just kind of ready for this game number 5. Again, games do not matter for this series. It all comes down to who wins the series will qualify for playoffs between these 2 teams. So right now, it doesn't really matter if the Tyrants win this game. And I think Distant really ready to get going on the next game, as a lot of players want to do when you're kind of really losing a lot in the games like this.
I know you're running out of time, but if you're the Elite, you want to get 1 goal on the scoreboard, 1 for the road to say you didn't get clean sheet shut out, but it's looking less and less likely. 7 seconds ago in game 4, will it happen? Probably not. Last shot looks like it's going to be the Tyrants with a double barrel roll popped by Pops. And that looks like the only tackle will go there. Clear off the line by Pops. A little bit of insult to injury. Good thing it didn't go in for them. But the Tyrants win this one. Now we got a split series, Luke. 2 games apiece. The Tyrants and the Elite. This one not nearly as clear as our Academy League brethren. But again, game 5 will be the decider of who wins the series.
And not just that, it decides on who makes playoffs, and it's such an important series for both of these teams. This is where you make your name, not just again, you can make it in the playoffs by making a run, but making playoffs is such a hard task to do, especially in a league with top tier players, some who are even RLCS level players. It's definitely something that you want to have on your resume when you're showing, hey, I did this. And I think both teams are showing, hey, we're both good enough to do this. And this game 4 really show what the Tyrants want to come back.
Looks like Tyrants have both more shots and more saves on both sides of the pitch. Dare I say, they're ironclad. They figure themselves out. Will they stick with the plan for Game 5? I hope they do, because that was their best showing. But if you're the Elite, what do you have to do? If I'm thinking, if I am Els, if I'm Zach, I'm thinking, my guys, look, we can't lose this series. We've done so well. We had some tandem plays. Let's bring it home, guys.
And again, this is, the best way I say it is, this would really remind me of game number 2 if the Elite didn't get all those saves. Because Elite, with those 12 saves, they stopped all the greater shot opportunities from the Tyrants. So again, if they want to win this, they got to show that defensive prowess that they did in the previous 3. So this game number 5 is not just going to be a game of offense. It's going to be a game of chess on the defensive side too.
I like that word, prowess. 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go. It is tied game in this 5-game series. Both teams have 2 games apiece. The Elite, the Tyrants, Premier level of MLE, unkept MMR, and the L's for Tyrant is on the board. 1-0.
That's a great flick from Els. He realizes the space again. Pops ended up going for the corner boost when he did not need to, instead of challenging the ball. And Els just says, thank you very much. I'm going to go for a beautiful flick to the corner. And then now the Tyrants start off with the lead like they have in most of these games.
If I could be serious for a moment, I've casted Els 3 times this season, and I've called them LS in every game. I am working on it. I'm sorry, sir. The check's in the mail. But the Tyrants are up 1-0. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go in Game 5, pivotal Game 5. It looked like Zach got a shot on goal, but took a little bit too much time to make it happen. Both of his opponents had to respawn, and this bomb levels the game.
See, and I thought the league got really screwed over here by Psyonix when Distance spawned right on top of Pops, but as a result, Distance, I guess, Els gets a little too overcommits. He commits too far up the field. As a result, that spawn and Distance just beats him to it. And now the really early equalizer in this game's back open.
Both these teams in the Volcanic Division of the Orange Conference have showed out all season. Playoffs are looming for MLE. Everyone wants to be holding up that championship. They say, I'm the best at what I do in my division, bringing it back for the team and organization. Which team has the will? Which team has the fight? 3 minutes, 45 seconds to go in pivotal Game 5. We are level. We are tied at 1-1. And that could have been a shot on goal for each of these teams. We're seeing the heart. We're seeing the sweat. We're seeing the balls happening in the sky. And the defensive clears like that. Pop with the second option. And it's off target. That could have been the follow-up goal they needed, but Distance is there. Distance is also on target. Limited a group there for the Elite. Here's a third attempt on the attack. A back pass by Pops. Distance didn't get there in time, and that could have broken the deadlock there, Luke.
And definitely could have. The Tyrants were really panicking there, but then as a result, the Elite went for a boost instead of containing the pressure. And I will say that really helped the Tyrants dodge a bullet, as they were just so out of position. They're trying to get a goal here, not able to play it through. And I think going into the rest of this game, this is going to become a really big stalemate. We might not see another goal until overtime.
Oh man, that was the perfect cap for this series, this game. The way these two teams are working with each other, they have chemistry, which I know they want to hear that when you're playing someone, your opponent. But breaking the deadlock, we have ourselves the Elite once again, 2-1. A little bit of a garbage man coming. They're just filling up this goal that was Distance on tap, and Pops was there to clean it up. 2-1 the Elite.
Yeah, that's a great drop. Distant had it on his hood, so Zach's goal was kind of covered like the carry and the flick, but instead Distant drops it off his hood, so Zach will fly right over. And that's a big goal for the lead. They have this lead, probably the underdogs in the series without their star Gumbachi playing, but right now they might not even need him, as they could pull away this series.
Pulling away the series would mean a lot for the boys in the Discord chat or whatever they do in their spare time, their downtime, Among Us or what have you. 2-1 the Elite, about the halfway to go in Game 5. Pivotal Game 5 of this 5-game series. Both teams already have 2 games in their pocket. Playoffs are looming for the MLE, and Pops have shown out this game. Win, lose, or draw this series. Pops has a lot to be proud of his efforts here today for the Elite, but the Elite want one more. The Elite want some insurance. The Elite want to put some more daylight between them and the Tyrants. And the Tyrants don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to be sent away in a whimper of a Game 5. They want more goals too, and time will tell what they get it. But Zach is trying his hardest with a shot of the bow, broken up by Pops. Pops has the space in front of him, goes up to the wall, in the sky, bouncing off like a Tony Hawk Pro skater. What's happening? Distance is there, shadowing, breaks up the counterattack by Zach, and this ball may be shot to the Elite side of the pitch. Distance may have something in his mind here, but it's blocked by Zach. Pops with the second option, fair goal, and Els is there in time. My goodness, what a save.
That was a big save as the pressure was really looming. There's opportunity there. Zach got a little too patient, wanted to wait for a backboard play instead, and as a result, a big opportunity goes out the waistline. It falls with a huge beat and open net, and the lead is up to 2.
This, what you call a game-breaking critical goal. Pops goes up, brings it down. On the way down, a little bit of a touch, fools the defender, and does a little bit of a jazz hand shot towards the net. Fine, man, go ahead, you earned it. 3-1 the Elite.
And this is huge. I mean, Zach's been really quiet this game number 5, and I think it might be getting to L's head as he's trying to do a little too much. We saw him go for a little bit of a rush challenge instead of waiting for Pops. And now the lead's down by 2. The Tyrants, favored in this match coming in, could really be looking out the door to go home this.
Yeah, you said it right. You know, it's hard to talk about body language when you're watching cars on a CGI pitch, but you can tell Zach is not quite himself, but he was early in the season. Els is doing a lot more brunt of the distance traveled on both sides of the pitch, and that could be the difference there. But they're not taking away from the Elite. The Elite have found ways to make pockets and to slice open the Tyrants' defense, and I'm here for it, to be honest with you, because look, it's Premier League. It's the playoff season, or playoffs are on the horizon. You got to punish your opponents. If you have the foot on the neck, clamp down, and that's what's happening right now for the Elite. 24 seconds to go in Game 5. He has one more chance for the Tyrants to get one more on the board, maybe even 2, but it's not going to happen because Pops is there with the nail in the coffin.
And that might just be an understatement. That is a big goal. Els not getting the read he wants, and the early GGs dropped by the Tyrants as they think this series is all but over, as the Elite have just basically pulled off a major upset without one of their big stars playing.
Looks like the Tyrants are being toppled, and the Elite are the new kings right now because they have this game in hand. They have this series in hand, and the Premier League is the volcanic division is their division to show out because they have done an absolutely fantastic job here today at Manfield. Yo, look, Luke, we could talk about this till we're blue in the face. There were opportunities for both teams to walk away with a series win, but the grit the Elite had was the difference. They walk away with a W here.
And I mean, this is to say the least. I wanted this series saying the Tyrants had this on lock. Zach and Els, a dominant duo mechanically and all of the above. But man, Distant and Pops, when they showed up, they did exactly what they needed to do. Take the boost away from the Tyrants. Make them forced to be on the ground and play a level playing field. Because again, if you put it on an aerial game, I think the Tyrants would have won this series a lot more handily. So the Elite just put it in their own field. They say, hey, you're going to play by our rules, and they won it.
I have a question for you. The division leaders here, the Bulls, are probably watching both teams play out today. Which one do you think they're most afraid of? Is it the Elite? I mean, these guys seem like they're ready to go.
Maybe, but the Bulls, man, the Bulls are really good. They have probably the best overall roster in MLE currently with their comp signing earlier in the season. So again, I wouldn't sleep on this Elite lineup at all, especially with watching without Gumbachu, as I undersay again. I mean, he's number 7 on the MVP on the goals list. I mean, that could say enough for you. I mean, having him for the playoffs is going to be amazing to have, and I think he's very proud of how his teammates did today.
Yeah, this one here is an instant classic. Make sure you check back and watch on demand. That does it for MLE Esports Channel 2 today. We'll be back here tomorrow for more Rocket League and minor league esports action. But for my broadcast partner, Luke, I'm Novanta. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.